Hello, welcome to Kate's Coaching Corner. Today I'm going to be talking about the grief we feel when we go through a breakup. This can be a friendship breakup, a situationship breakup, or a relationship breakup. The grief we feel and how to healthily get over it, okay? So, no matter how long you've been together, you could have known one person for a day and then all of a sudden they've ghosted you. And you could have spent a whole day together and felt like this person was someone that you'd end up forever with. Anyway, so the grief we feel and getting over it, you've got to be sad. You've got to grieve. You've got to allow yourself to be sad, no matter how long this may take, okay? Generally, the people around you may say, have you not got over this yet? Or we'll get sick of you being sad about the situation and we want you to be happy again. But you just be sad. I mean, don't stay there too long. Make sure you eat and go to the gym eventually. But do allow yourself to be sad. Another one is allow yourself to write down everything you learned from that relationship. So even if it ended amicably or it didn't, you need to write down what you have learned, what you will take away, and if there was any maltreatment there, what you will no longer accept, and prevent yourself from accepting the same situation from happening again, and making sure that if that were to happen again, you would leave sooner because you'd recognise the signs earlier. So definitely go over all the good, all the bad of that relationship, what you want more of in the future, what you want less of, and just talk through, forgive yourself for how long it may have taken you to have left, or for allowing yourself to be treated in that way, or for anything. Just forgive yourself about the whole situation, which in doing this, in taking a deep dive into unpicking every little thing, you will then be able to move on. You need to go through every little detail, however many times you need to go through it, to then be able to go, right, close that, now we can move. And they say healing's not linear and you're not just going to go chug, chug, chug. You may eventually one day get, the worst bit is the flashbacks to when you go, oh, well, they said this to me, but I remember that time when they just kissed my forehead and I thought the entire world was just, I didn't care about it. That's the worst. But write down your pros and cons list, write about the bad things, the good things they brought out in you, what the relationship lacked, and ultimately why it ended and why it didn't work, and how you can avoid that happening again in the future, basically. Right, so after you've grieved and you've ruminated and you feel like little parts of your soul are coming together and you've vented, you've got your anger out, you can then channel that energy, this newfound energy that you do have, into something new, into a new hobby, whether it be climbing, pottery, going to the gym, boxing. Generally, I think anything that releases endorphins is the best, because I don't know, it just means that your brain can really focus on something else and makes you feel really, really good. Which is why a lot of people, when they go through breakups, they go to the gym, because it's a way of self-betterment and focusing on themselves, and something that you can truly concentrate on. So I highly recommend going to the gym after breakups. Also though, I'm just going to reiterate the point of, it's so important to feel what you felt and not to just bury it under the carpet and go for a rebound, because it just displaces the pain and places it somewhere else, right? You can't replace that person, you can't replace that feeling with somebody else. Unfortunately, you can't, so you've just got to cry and then go to the gym and cry and cry and go to the gym until you just start to feel a little bit more whole and like your pieces of your soul return back to you again, okay? So find somewhere to put your energy, because after you've been in a relationship where so much of your time, energy, thoughts are around this person, whether it was a positive relationship or a negative, you've got to put that energy somewhere else, and obviously you're going to put it back into yourself. Don't put it anywhere else. And that's such a beautiful thing, to reap the rewards of putting your energy into yourself and self-love and rebuilding your self-esteem and rebuilding being more of a secure person. It's really lovely. So focusing that energy somewhere else. Also, putting yourself back out there, not necessarily romantically, but just going out and doing things that ignite your soul on fire, okay? Spending time with your friends again, being around people who love and appreciate you is such a big thing, because, you know, that's where you first found love and can feel that again. And, you know, even if that's not family members, if that's animals, if it's through reading books, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, watching films, watching the cheesy rom-coms, no matter what it is, find something that makes you feel loved again and makes you realise your worth by having those around you who do truly appreciate you. I feel bad now for anyone who doesn't necessarily have that. But you will find it and you will appreciate yourself, and, you know, just focusing your energy on something where you can directly see the rewards, whether that be work, the gym, anything that you can create something out of and feel better for doing. And finally, lastly, is just keep going, keep working towards self-betterment, and give yourself a hug. Even if your relationship didn't end well, try and forgive them for what they did. I mean, don't be best friends with them, don't message them again. You don't necessarily have to forgive them, but just try and give yourself a hug and be like, I'm sorry I put you through this, I'm sorry that I thought this was acceptable, and I'm sorry that we let someone else do this to us. And then also, you know, this person that has done this to you was clearly hurting, clearly has low self-esteem, clearly does not love themselves on a level that they understand how to love other people in the way that you love yourself. So give yourself that hug, because I know that you've stooped to a low level of self-love, which is not enough for you. But also, you know, just give them a nod in saying, I forgive you too. Don't have to though. Definitely don't have to, not if they're an evil monster. But you know, you can have a tiny bit of empathy for this person and say, I'm actually quite sorry for you that you thought this was an acceptable way to treat another human being. But forgive yourself and have your inner peace. And just focus on what brings you that inner peace and what makes you feel loved, and show yourself that love, okay? So for everything you would ever do for somebody else, how you would show them appreciation, how that is, how you want to be treated, treat yourself that way. I'm getting sick of hearing people say this, but do it. Because the more you balance your inner peace, okay, your inner zen, your inner happiness, the more, if someone comes and disrupts that, the more you're likely to shove them out, okay? So you've got to have a sense of inner peace, love, self-love, self-worth, self-esteem, so that if anybody disrupts it, you know. And I love this quote of, I am now walking over things that I used to trip over. You just step over them, because you're just higher. You've found your higher self. You've found the things that make you happy. You've found your peace. And now if someone else comes, they've got to add to that. They've got to make your life better. Life on your own should be the best thing ever. And if someone else wants to come into your life, they have to add to your life. You don't want to add drama. You don't want to add unnecessary energy, unnecessary stress. You want them to alleviate stress, take away drama, make your life easier, okay? If they don't do that, if they take away from your peace, then they're completely the wrong person. And that is how I would grieve a relationship, friendship, situationship. I hope you have found that helpful.